Imagine a steaming bowl of white bean chicken chili. The comforting aroma of cumin, oregano, and chili powder fills the air, tickling your nostrils with the promise of a hearty, flavorful meal. Each spoonful is a revelation, a medley of textures playing on your palate. The tender chunks of chicken, cooked to perfection, complement the creamy, melt-in-your-mouth beans. They dance together in a harmonious ballet of flavors, each bite as delightful as the last. The richness of the dish is elevated by the unexpected zing of green chilies, their subtle heat teasing your taste buds, making them yearn for more. The spices, ground cumin and oregano, infuse the dish with an earthy depth, their notes resonating in every morsel. The chili powder adds a smoky warmth, its gentle heat lingering on your tongue, a delicious reminder of the mouth-watering meal. But the star of the show is perhaps the most humble ingredient of all, the great northern beans. Rinsed and slow-cooked, they absorb the flavors of the spices and the chicken, becoming little flavor bombs that explode with every bite. Their creamy texture is a comforting counterpoint to the chewy chicken and the spicy chilies, making the dish a perfect balance of flavors and textures. And then there's the final flourish, the piece de resistance, a generous sprinkle of cheese that melts into the hot chili, enveloping everything in a blanket of creamy, cheesy goodness. It's the perfect indulgence, the final touch that elevates this dish from comforting to decadent. But the beauty of this dish lies not just in its taste, but also in its versatility. Want a crunch? Top it with crushed tortilla chips. Craving freshness? Add a handful of chopped cilantro. You can even serve it over a bed of fluffy rice, turning it into a complete filling meal. The possibilities are endless. Sounds irresistible, right? So, grab your apron and join me in creating this culinary masterpiece. Now that your appetites are whetted, gather the ingredients. Start with 4 cans of great northern beans, rinsed well. They are the backbone of our chili, providing a hearty texture and subtle flavor. Next, we need 2 pounds of chicken breasts, the star of our dish, adding a lean yet satisfying protein punch. Our flavor profile starts to build with 2 cans of green chilies. You can choose mild or medium, depending on your heat preference. The seasonings come in next. 2 teaspoons of ground cumin, 1 teaspoon of oregano, and 1½ teaspoons of chili powder. Don't forget the ½ teaspoon of salt and 3 cloves of minced garlic for that extra kick. To bring it all together, we have a can of reduced sodium chicken broth and a cup of water, lending a deliciously savory broth to our chili. With these simple ingredients, we're ready to whip up a delicious white bean chicken chili. The first step involves preparing the chicken. Now you may ask, what's the best way to go about this? Well, we're going to cut our chicken into small, bite-sized cubes. This not only makes it easier to cook evenly, but also ensures every spoonful of our chili is packed with a hearty chunk of chicken. Once our chicken is cut, it's time to brown it over the stove. This process gives the chicken a delightful golden hue and locks in all the juices, making it incredibly flavorful. You want to keep an eye on it, turning the pieces occasionally to ensure they brown on all sides. Alternatively, if you're not in a hurry, you can cook the chicken in a crock pot beforehand. This method takes a bit longer, but it's a great way to infuse the chicken with even more flavor. Just remember, this will add a bit to your overall prep time. Now, with our chicken perfectly browned, we're ready for the next step. With our chicken ready, we move on to assembling the chili. Now let's get to know our humble yet crucial companion in this culinary journey, the great northern beans. Each can of these beans is a treasure trove of fiber and protein that will give our chili a hearty texture and a nutritional boost. To prepare these beans, we'll first need to drain and rinse them. This step is important to wash away any excess sodium and to ensure that we get the pure, unadulterated taste of the beans. Now, let's move on to the crock pot, our trusty kitchen aid that's going to make all the magic happen. Place the beans in the crock pot, followed by the prepped chicken. But we're not done yet. Oh no, we're just getting started. Next, we add the green chilies, and here's where you can play with the heat. Whether you prefer mild or medium chilies, it's all about crafting a chili that suits your palate. Then we add a medley of spices, ground cumin, oregano, and chili powder. These spices are the soul of our chili, infusing it with a rich, smoky flavor that's going to make your taste buds dance. Don't forget the salt and minced garlic, essentials that will elevate the taste of our chili to new heights. We then pour in a can of reduced sodium chicken broth and a cup of water, creating a flavorful bath for our ingredients to simmer in. Now here's a crucial step. Mix everything well. This is no time to be shy. Dive in there and ensure that the flavors are evenly distributed. Every spoonful of this chili should be a burst of flavor, so mixing well is key. Once everything's mixed together, we're ready to let the slow cooking process work its magic. The anticipation of the deliciousness to come is part of the joy of cooking, isn't it? So sit back, relax, and let the crock pot do its thing. Your patience will soon be rewarded with a pot full of hearty, comforting chili. Now comes the part that requires patience, the slow cooking process. This is where the magic happens, where flavors intertwine and the chicken morphs into tender, bite-sized pieces that melt in your mouth. Let's dive into the details. If you have the luxury of time and want to extract every bit of flavor, you'd want to cook this chili on a low setting for 10 to 12 hours. Yes, that's right. It's a long time, but trust me, it's worth it. This gentle and prolonged simmering allows the flavors to marry and intensify, and the chicken to become oh so tender. But what if you're in a bit of a hurry, or just too excited to wait that long? Well, there's a solution for that too. You can cook the chili on a high setting for 5 to 6 hours. It's half the time, but still gives you a delicious, hearty chili. The high temperature speeds up the cooking process, but still gives the ingredients enough time to meld together and create a symphony of flavors. As the chili cooks, the aroma will waft through your kitchen, teasing your senses and making your mouth water. The herbs and spices, the beans and the chicken, all simmering together, create a scent that's hard to resist. But resist you must, because the longer it cooks, the better it tastes. Remember to keep the lid on, as this traps the heat and moisture, ensuring the ingredients cook evenly. It's tempting to peek, to stir, but resist that urge. Let the slow cooker do its job. And there you have it. After hours of slow cooking, you've transformed simple ingredients into a pot of rich, flavorful chili. But we're not done yet. After hours of slow cooking, our white bean chicken chili is almost ready to be served. Stay tuned for the final steps and serving suggestions. You're in for a treat. Our patience is paid off, and it's finally time to serve our chili. Picture this, a bowl of steaming, hearty white bean chicken chili. Its rich aroma wafting through the air, inviting you to savor its delightful taste. But before we dive in, let's take a moment to enhance its flavors with some delicious toppings. First, we'll start with cheese. A good sprinkle of shredded cheddar or Monterey Jack over the hot chili will melt into a smooth, creamy layer, adding a wonderful richness to every spoonful. Next, for an aromatic hint of freshness, we'll add a sprinkle of chopped cilantro. Its unique combination of citrusy and peppery notes will provide a vibrant contrast to the savory depth of the chili. Lastly, for that irresistible crunch, let's scatter some crushed tortilla chips over the top. These golden shards will lend a delightful textural twist and a subtle corn flavor that complements the chili beautifully. But the customization doesn't stop here. For those who prefer their chili with a bit of a kick, a dash of hot sauce or a sprinkle of red chili flakes will do the trick. And for the onion lovers among us, a handful of chopped green onions or a dollop of tangy salsa can add a refreshing counterpoint to the rich chili. Now, if you're craving an even heartier meal, consider serving this chili over rice. The fluffy grains will soak up the chili's flavorful broth, transforming your bowl of chili into a satisfying main course. Whether you're enjoying this on a cold winter's day or sharing it with friends at a casual get-together, this white bean chicken chili is bound to impress. And there you have it, a bowl of hearty and delicious white bean chicken chili. Enjoy.